It's September 3rd, 2018. A woman sits in the back seat of a moving car. She doesn't look nervous. She's not glancing out the window, not clutching her phone as if expecting danger. If anything, she looks like she's here for a routine meeting, her hand resting gently on her 7-month pregnant belly. But this is no ordinary drive. The woman is Sharon Otieno, a 26-year-old student, a mother of 2 carrying a 3rd child, a boy she dreams will carry her hopes. A dreamer, a fighter, the kind of woman who'd light up a room with her laugh, who'd study late into the night to build a better future. And tonight, she is in a Toyota Fielder in Homa Bay, Kenya, heading to meet a source with a journalist friend. She thinks she's chasing a story, maybe a chance to secure her future with the man she loves, a man she trusts deeply. The driver? A stranger named Jackson Otieno Gombe. The man beside her? Michael Juma Oyamo, personal assistant to her partner Zakaria Okoth Obado, a powerful county official. What she doesn't know is that this guy is a trap. The men aren't here to talk, they're here to silence her. She doesn't know it yet, but before the night is over, she and her unborn son will be gone, their bodies left in the shadows of a forest. Because what she doesn't realize is that her trust in a man she loved, her partner, her protector, will become the key to unraveling one of Kenya's most heartbreaking murders. Sharon Otieno wasn't his first secret, but she was his last. Her partner, a country official, his aide, a lawyer fixer, a country clerk, tied to the car that drove her to her death. All of them linked, all of them close to her. Sharon survived just long enough to leave a trail of love letters, promises, and a pregnancy that changed everything. A trail that's still burning through the courtroom in Nairobi. Imagine trusting someone with your heart, sharing your dreams, your fears, even the promise of a new life growing inside you. But now imagine that same person, charming, trusted, powerful, deciding your life is a problem to be erased. This is a story of love twisted into betrayal, of a young woman's dreams drowned in a forest's shadows, a student, a lover, mother-to-be. When her body was found, Homa Bay wept. How could someone so close to her, someone she trusted, be tied to such a crime? Why did no one protect her? And even now in 2025, are the real killers still walking free?
My mother, Mama Sharon, I want to deeply condole with you.
Injustice to one comrade is injustice to all comrades.
This isn't just a murder. It's a wound in the heart of Homa Bay, a puzzle of trust and lies that grips you and won't let you go. And today, we unravel the heartbreaking story of Sharon Otieno, and you won't want to turn away. But before we step any further, a warning. This case includes details of abduction, sexual assault, murder, and violence against a pregnant woman and her unborn child. Some descriptions may be deeply disturbing, especially for those sensitive to harm against mothers or children. My goal with Beneath the Rift is not to sensationalize, but to understand, to shine a light in the shadows and honor those who never got justice. Your discretion is advised. And with that, let's step into the darkness. Welcome to Beneath the Rift. I'm Rose Basemura, and tonight I'm taking you to Homa Bay, Kenya, a place of rolling hills, bustling markets, and tight-knit communities, where trust is everything, where neighbors share meals. A young woman's ambition can light up a night like a beacon. But in 2018, that light was snuffed out. Sharon Otieno, a 26-year-old student, was found dead in a forest, her unborn son stolen with her. The man at the center of her story? Zachariah Okoth Obado, a powerful county official she loved and trusted. A man who promised her a home, a future, a life, until she became a burden. This story echoes the chilling betrayal of Rosemary Ndlovu, the South African killer cop we met last time. Like Rosemary, who sat in a car plotting her sister's murder, Sharon trusted someone close, a man meant to protect her, who turned predator. Like Rosemary's victims, Sharon paid the ultimate price for her trust. Tonight, we walk through Sharon's story, step by step, to uncover the truth behind the lies. Let's start with Sharon, because the story belongs to her, known to the man who took her life. Sharon Bain Otieno was born in 1992 in Rachuonyo, Homa Bay County, a rural pocket by Lake Victoria where fishing boats sway and families lean on each other to survive. Her parents, Melida Auma and her father, worked tirelessly. Madlida selling fish at the market and her father taking odd jobs to give Sharon and her siblings a better shot at life. Sharon was their pride, a second-year medical record student at Rongo University. She was sharp, ambitious, with a laugh that could make strangers feel like family. Our friend said back in 2018, Sharon was the kind of person who would share her last coin, then stay up all night studying to make sure her kids had a future. And by 2018, Sharon was 26, separated from her husband and raising two young children, a boy and a girl, both under 10. She was 7 months pregnant with her third, a boy she dreamt of naming after Hope, perhaps after his father, a man she believed would lift her out of struggle. That man was Zachariah Okoth Obado, a 49-year-old county official in Migori, a neighboring region. Obado was a pillar in his community, married with 4 children, and he was known for his charm and influence. To Sharon, he was a lifeline. Their relationship began in 2017, an open secret in Migori's close-knit circles. Obado's wife, Helen, knew, as did his son and close associates, past a testimony that was said in court.
XYZ had interviewed my wife on one of our projects, so they had known one another. And for Mula, they were talking about some relatives, like some ladies from my wife's place who were married to Mula's place. So they needed now no introduction because XYZ had been known to my wife, they knew one another. But Mula, by the time I entered, they had done the introduction because they were talking of, that lady, yes, they had some shared relatives or friends. Yes. Yeah, so it was only me who now wanted the introduction.
He sent Sharon monthly upkeep around 50,000 Kenya shillings, 100 Kenya shillings. He promised her an 800,000 Kenya shilling house and spoke of caring for their unborn son. With this, obviously, like Sharon saw a future. Text messages shown in court revealed her trust. Texts like, "You said you'd build us a home. I believe you," she wrote to Obado in June of 2018. But in Homa Bay, secrets spread fast. Sharon's pregnancy became a problem, kind of like a threat to Obado's reputation. And her mother Melida warned her. "I told her to stay away. His world is too big for you." Sharon, though, held on to his promises, just as Joyce Ndlovu trusted her sister, Rosemary, in South Africa, until trust became a trap. So let's walk through that night, September 3rd, 2018, because the details scream louder than any headline. Sharon was at Graka Hotel in Homa Bay, meeting Barack Odua, a journalist. They were there to discuss a story. They were actually waiting for Michael Juma Oyamo, who's Obado's personal assistant, and he had promised that he had a source for the story they were working on. So around 7 p.m., Oyamo arrived, coaxing Sharon and Odua into a silver Toyota Fielder, and the registration obviously was KCL 481K. KCL 481K, and it was driven by Jackson Otieno Gombe. Sharon, 7 months pregnant, climbed in, thinking they were headed to a meeting, and Barack sat beside her, uneasy but following her lead. The car pulled away from Graka Hotel, weaving through Homa Bay's evening bustle. At Nyangweso Market, Odua sensed danger. Odua Barack. The driver's silence, Oyamo's tense glances. He jumped out, rolling into a ditch with injuries on his arms and legs. Sharon tried to follow, her hands reaching for the door, but it was locked, and the car sped off, leaving Barack behind. Sharon was driven to Owande area in Rachwonyo sub-county, still in Homa Bay County, a remote area where the road fades into a forest. Like there's even no end. The road ends into a forest. In the darkness of Kodera Forest, can you imagine? She was raped. And after being raped, this woman is 7 months pregnant, by the way. She was stabbed 8 times in her neck, abdomen, and back, and strangled. Pathologist Johansen reported the postmortem. Her unborn son, 28 weeks old, was stabbed twice through her womb. His life ended before it could begin, and her body was dumped in a thicket. Found next morning. It was found on September 4th near Oyugos Forest by a herder. The scene was devastating. Sharon's clothes were torn, her body bruised, blood pooling beneath her. Barack's bloody jacket and shoes, recovered by police, told of her struggle. The Toyota Fielder, seized in Migori, was traced to Caspar Ogwang Obiere, a county clerk whose wife owned it. Just like Rosemary in Lovu's calculated murders, planned with chilling precision in a car wired for her downfall, Sharon's death was no random act. It was a betrayal, orchestrated by those she trusted. Homa Bay grieved, and its people demanded answers. Rongo University students blocked the Rongo Migori Highway, holding signs reading, "Justice for Sharon, protect our sisters. Justice for Sharon, protect our sisters. Justice for Sharon, protect our sisters. Justice for Sharon, protect our sisters." Community groups gathered at churches, praying for Sharon and her children. And the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, acted swiftly, maybe under pressure from a heartbroken community. And on September 4th, Michael Juma Oyamo, Obado's assistant, was arrested in Homa Bay after Barack identified him. And then by September 8th, Caspar Ojwang Obiero, a county clerk, and Jackson Otieno Gombe, the driver, were detained.
From 3rd day of September, when my girl was kidnapped, I'm seriously mourned, and especially when I looked at some of the suspects in court, I always fall into tears. Tears do roll down my cheeks.
My sister Melinda,
May you trust upon the Lord at all times. As justice is being, as we seek for justice, as has been said, remember, the best judge is God.
We want the 3 people who tortured, raped, and murdered Sharon Otieno to be brought to book.
We will walk this journey together with the family of Sharon till justice is found. I want to really thank the DPP. I want to really thank the DCI.
What now remains is we want to get into to the end. This is the first time that we want no stone left unturned. The people who think that they can be killing people with impunity, let them know this is a thing of the past.
The Toyota Fielder was found at Migori Car Wash. Its interior cleaned but yielding traces of blood. Okay, that was analyzed by a forensic analysis at the DCI headquarters. Then on September 11th, Zakaria Okoth Obado was questioned for 8 hours in Kisumu. He admitted his relationship with Sharon, and a DNA test confirmed he fathered her unborn child. But then he claimed when everything happened, he was in Nairobi, over 500 kilometers away, on September 3rd. But the phone records, however, showed calls between Obado, Oyamo, and Obiero that night, the September 3rd night when that incident happened. And that's by prosecution evidence. Then, on September 21st, Obado was arrested at Jigiri police station and charged as a key suspect. Grado Ochola, a county messenger, testified, now this is like in 2023, that Obiero asked him to hire the Toyota Fielder for water delivery on September 3rd. So Ochola left it at the Migori Car Wash, where Obiero and his associates retrieved it. Ochola stood firm against pressure to lie about being at the scene, strengthening the case. A Graka hotel worker confirmed Oyamo's presence with Sharon and Barack. So these are all the evidence coming together to create this whole story. And the evidence, I'm talking about DNA, the car, phone records, witnesses, all pointed to a motive. Sharon's pregnancy was a secret Obado couldn't afford. But as anything goes, the investigation hit bumps. So a 2018 Standard Media report noted attempts to pressure Ochola into giving false testimony, raising fears of interference. Then, and there are very many community voices online. We're talking about the netizens. So at Nation Africa in 2018 kept the pressure on. Sharon's story can't be buried. Her children deserve justice. Like the sting that caught Rosemary and Lovo, the truth relied on those who refused to stay silent. And that, on September 24th, 2018, Zakaria Okoth Obado, Michael Juma Oyamo, and Caspar Ojwang Obiero were charged with Sharon's murder at Milimani Law Courts in Nairobi. But Obado pleaded non-guilty and was held at Industrial Area Prison until granted bond in October of 2018, while Oyamo and Obiero remained in custody. The trial, under Justice Cecilia W. Githua, stretched over 6 years, with 42 witnesses weaving a heartbreaking story. Pathologist Johansen Odwa described Sharon's 8 stab wounds and her unborn son's 2, calling it a deliberate but brutal attack. Barack Odwa, you remember the guy that was with Sharon in the car? The journalist. He took the stand in 2021, his voice trembling as he recalled Sharon's pleas as he escaped.
Came to know Sharon was about 3 to 4 weeks ago. That one could qualify to be a month ago. I was in my workstation within Homa Bay town. This particular person called Lawrence Muller. Lawrence Muller is a former MCA of Kanyadoto. Kanyadoto is a ward within Homa Bay County. He came and told me that he has a friend who wants my help as a journalist. This is the first day I interviewed Sharon. On this day I took several of these photos, and I took photos of WhatsApp conversations. So I asked the lady again So you've brought all this, you have all this evidence. When did the governor supported you last financially? Because you claim the governor has abandoned you. She told me about 2 to 3 weeks ago, the governor gave me about 100,000 shillings. Then I told her, that the governor has not abandoned you, because if somebody gave you 300,000, if somebody gave you 100,000 about 2 to 3 weeks ago, how does that one now result to abandonment? She said, no, you do not understand how the governor was treating me. This matter of 100,000 and what was nothing. I could get any amount I wanted from the governor. I could even cheat him, I'm sick. He could give me even 2 to 300,000. She played for me her recording. The recording was between the governor and her. They were speaking in vernacular. The governor was pleading with her to do an abortion. And she was hesitant. The governor was telling her, no, if you want to be a good girl, you should just do what I've told you. I'm going to give you money to ensure that you have done abortion. You know, I'm a big person. I cannot endure such kind of shame. Somebody called me around 10. The person identified himself as the governor of Migori. I asked him, where have you gotten my number? He told me, see, I've gotten your number from my friend. Then I asked him, are you aware of this lady called Sharon? He told me, yeah, I know her. Sharon claims that she's pregnant because of you and you've abandoned her. She told me that that is a matter I can neither agree or deny. He told me that particular lady wants to blackmail me with the pregnancy matter. And so because of that, all this matter you will be dealing with through my personal assistant. Sharon told me that the governor of Migori, Okoth Obado, through his personal assistant, Michael Oyamo, wants to meet us. We went with Sharon to Rongo Town. On reaching Rongo Town, I suggested that we have a meeting at a hotel called Grasha. Then we saw 2 men standing by the roadside. Sigari ka park sideways. Venye amefungua tu mlango hivi, mtu mmoja akaingia pale pake venye alikaa next to Sharon. Mtu mwingine akakuja akanishongeza forcefully hivi akafunga mlango, gari katoka. Gari katoka few meters, ndio akasema, they started with me ati, funga simu yako. These guys had weapons. And the other guy who was sitting next to Sharon was asking her, how have you known this guy? And the co-driver was saying, you guys have ever wanted to see the governor? We are taking you to see him. You will not need to get worried. Those ones were the last conversations before I jumped out of the moving car. When the vehicle went some meters, they stopped. The 2 people who came was this person who was next to me. Alitoka nje na yule co-driver. Yule jamaa alikuwa na Sharon, ni kama alibaki tu na yeye kwa gari. They came running towards me. Alafu nikamuka ndio nikakimbia. I thought they could not execute her.
Then Melida Auma, that's Sharon's mother, she testified in 2019, tears streaming as she read Sharon's last text to Obado. You promised me a future. Why are you silent now? Phone records showed Oyamo calling Obiero and Obado hours before the murder. The prosecution argued Sharon's pregnancy threatened Obado's reputation and family. They presented DNA evidence, the Toyota failed as forensics, and Ochola's testimony linking Obiero to the car. Obado's defense, though it was led by Kioko Kilukumi, claimed he was in Nairobi, supported by his associates. Like as if you can't hire someone when you're even out of the country to do for you the deed. Anyway, I digress. I won't rely on that. But anyone, if he's not the one doing it, he's not there. Of course, he had other people to do it, not him. Like, I feel like that is not much of a defense to me. If there's evidence proving like you are talking to people that were doing it. Anyway, they argued the case relied on shaky connections and no direct proof. Oyamo and Obiero insisted no one saw them at Kodera Forest, and Ochola's account suggested others could have used the car. But on January 30th of 2025, this year actually, Justice Githua ruled that Obado, Oyamo, and Obiero had a case to answer for Sharon's murder, but dismissed charges for her unborn child's death, citing the quote-unquote born alive principle. So the born alive principle, which requires a child to be born alive to be a murder victim in the Kenyan law. So here is saying the child was not yet born, so that law cannot really work on them. So they didn't count that as a murder. They just count him as part of his mom. But that decision sparked pain, with someone saying Sharon's baby was 28 weeks. That boy was alive. How is that not justice? The defense began on February 25th of 2025 with 11 witnesses, including Obado's wife Helen, who confirmed knowing of the relationship but denied involvement. Then recent updates in the trial. As of August 23rd, 2025, it shows that defense phase ongoing, with hearings resuming Here and there, brief pauses where former Migori Governor Okoth Obado testified that he took responsibility for Sharon Otieno's pregnancy, promising to support her financially and build her a house, despite ending their relationship due to inconsistencies. So he said yes, he was the father of an unborn child, but they were no longer seeing each other. They stopped seeing each other way before because it just didn't work out. They had a lot of inconsistencies going on. And then in June 2025, Obado's co-accused Michael Oyamo presented a defense witness who took the stand, adding a new twist by denying any handover of Sharon to her killers and dismissing involvement claims. Obado remains free on bond, living in Nairobi, while Oyamo and Obieno are in custody at Industrial Area Prison. Delays have frustrated the case. Obiero missed a 2024 hearing after a personal tragedy. Sharon's case lingers, leaving her family in limbo. So, when Sharon's body was found, Homa Bay didn't just mourn. They cried for justice. Rongo University students blocked highways, holding signs for Sharon and her unborn child. Community groups gathered in churches, praying for her children. And then there are posts online, some of them read, Sharon Otieno was our daughter, our sister. Her death breaks us all. In Homa Bay, trust is everything. Neighbors share meals. Families pool money for school fees. And a promise, especially from someone powerful, carries weight. Sharon, a single mother from a modest family, saw Obado as a way out. A man who could give her children a better life. A local elder actually said, in our communities, a powerful man's word is a lifeline. Sharon believed him. Her trust wasn't just love. It was hope, rooted in a culture where relationships can mean survival. Her death shattered that trust. It exposed how those closest to you, lovers, aides, associates, can hide betrayal behind smiles. Just like, remember the story I told you, I keep bringing her back up, Rosemary Ndlovu, she hid her schemes behind her police uniform. And Sharon's mother, Melida, she said, I warned her, but he was her world. How do you walk away from that? The community felt the wound. Women in Homa Bay began questioning who they could trust, double-checking promises for those in power. The trial's delays deepened the pain. Sharon's 2 children, now teenagers, live with Melida, who told The Nation in 2023, they ask about their mom. I tell them she loved them, but I have no answers for justice. Her unborn son, buried in her grandfather's compound in Rochonyo, it remains a quiet scar. And the Rungo University students still light candles for Sharon every September. Their vigils are testament to her memory. The crazy thing is Sharon's story really mirrors Rosemary Ndlovu's chilling betrayal. Rosemary sat in a car plotting her sister's murder with petrol and poison. Sharon climbed into a car trusting a man who promised her a future. Both were betrayed by those meant to protect them. Rosemary's uniform, Obado's authority. And like Rosemary, who plotted from a prison cell against her investigator. The slow justice in Sharon's case raises a haunting question. Can the system ever hold the powerful accountable? Because we are tired. Can you imagine carrying a child, dreaming of a home, only to find the man you trusted planned your end? Sharon's story asks, who protects the vulnerable when trust becomes a weapon? Tonight, as we leave Homa Bay, remember, betrayal doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it's the one who promises you everything And sometimes it's the man who holds your hand, vowing to build for you a home. And sometimes, just sometimes, it's the system that lets him walk free. Sharon Otieno trusted a man she loved. Joyce in Love trusted a sister. Both were betrayed by those closest to them. Their stories remind us, evil doesn't always hide. It smiles, it promises, it wears trust like a mask. Thank you for walking through the darkness with me. Until then, stay curious and stay safe.